This is No Thank You Evil. In the land of Eladoke, when there are wrongs to be righted, when injustice occurs, the children of Oakdale don special costumes and climb through the door of the old treehouse, where they emerge as the heroes of Eladoke, starring Jake playing Robert, the kind robot.
I am learning to love.
Charlene as Kara, the pirate.
Use your beard to swap the poop deck, epoxy blasted codpiece.
Aiden as Stumps, the nimble wizard.
Hop on, Tiny.
Sylvie as Dee Copperfield, the nimble robot.
Exterminate.
Lilette as Donut, the super smart spy cat.
Meow if you can.
No Thank You Evil is brought to you by Shanna Germain and Monty Cook Games. Today's episode produced by Geek Therapeutics in association with the 24th Cohort. Episode 17, The Cookie Hoarder, written and directed by Mike A. Pratt. So, you have entered into, through the old treehouse, and you've come into the headquarters for the Heroes of Eladoke. You are greeted by your Sensual. Your Sensual is a tall bird-like creature with an onion-shaped body in like pink, almost clear, with a tall neck and then a head with a big feather that goes out the back. And every time they speak, they sort of spray up a sickly sweet smell into the air. And the Sensual's like, "Oh, good. I'm glad that you're here. We've run into a bit of a problem. There are members of the Bakelite tribe here to meet you."
We will do whatever we can to help.
Perfect.
Right this way. So the Bakelites are small, round creatures. They're usually very flat, but sometimes they're very round, like ball-shaped, running around on legs. They've got really hard skins, but if you hit them hard enough, they will just crack and shatter. And the mama of the Bakelite tribe, Miss POTs, she stands there with one hand on one hip and points with the other hand and says, "Heroes, you need to do something about that evil ogre. He roughed up my son." Now the son is a small round figure, hands on the hips, sort of like this, but has like a flappy top head. And it's like, "Mom, it's not that big of a deal." But as he talks, you notice that there's a crack running down the side of his head. It's like, "That evil ogre attacked my son and took all of his cookies, and has been stealing cookies from across the land. And I need you to go and find them and bring him back and make him apologize or give him the what's for."
Stealing cookies, that is truly evil.
I wouldn't say stealing's exactly evil all the time, but in this case, sure.
Well, did you hiss at him back?
Well, I like to share my cookies, and I'm free with giving them people. And he was really rough with me, and I'm sure he didn't mean it. He's hurt me before, but he's never really meaned it. No, you can't listen to that. You gotta deal with this. You gotta find this evil ogre and deal with it. I demand it.
Looks like he needs a good hissing to, if he hasn't been hissed yet.
So they immediately start, once you stopped looking and she starts talking, she starts fussing and doing the mama, the coddling mother fussing over the baby, and she's like, "Mom," he's like, "Mom, don't stop that." It's like, "Oh, you've got schmutz on your face." And and it's clear that you're not be able to get any more information out of them unless you're actually going to engage them in some way, by talking to them or trying to trick information or something like that.
Where be the ogre's den, or house or cave? I'm not sure where an ogre lives.
I don't know. That ogre is always here and there. It's clear that the son, the cookie jar, if you haven't gotten it at this point, has knows where the ogre is. But you're going to need to be a little bit convincing, and we're going to do the first roll of the game. He's hesitant to give information out because he doesn't want to be a tattletale, and especially his mom's right there, you know. But he will be doing. But you can convince him with a smarts check. The difficulty is 3. So if you want to use a smart token or from your pool, you can reduce the difficulty to 2. If you want to just go for it, you can just roll the die. And if anybody is able to help in this particular case, or as we determined, the pirate has the swashbuckling power, can just pressure him to getting an automatic +1.
Pressure the child.
Okay, so that's an automatic +1. So you can just roll it, and a 2 or better will succeed. If you want to use a smart in this case, you can make it what's called a cinch, which is an automatic.
I think I'm going to try and save my smarts. I only have 2.
All right. So go ahead and roll it and see what you get.
I got a 5.
That's more than enough. Oh, okay. Well, I know he's been taking the cookies and piling them up over by the knobbly knoll. It's across that one bridge. You know, the bridge toll bridge with the bridge toll with the name toll that caused charge of toll.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's over there. Oh, now you know where he is. You can go bonk him on the head. So you're at your base. If there's anything in particular that you want to pick up as supplies that you think you might need, now is the time to sort of tell me one thing that you might be grabbing from your base supplies. This is a lot of theater of the mind, which means I will probably also be doing a lot of yes-anding here. And when I do a yes, like if you need to part of the scene, you're like, oh, I hide behind a tree, or I pull the rug out from underneath them. If I haven't explicitly said that there isn't something there, you can just assume that there is. I'll yes and you, and we'll keep going.
I would like to say that Robert has a collection of USBs which hold different stores of information, and he goes to his room to grab the troll USB to download some troll data, so he knows more about trolls later.
Okay. That will be relevant later. So we'll get to it. Good job.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you're looking for here?
Yeah, Kara actually, you see her going over to like the costume section, like the disguise section of the place, and she's looking down at her little pet T-Rex and going, I could use you as bait. And she tries, and she goes and she finds a little cookie costume for TTR, my little T-Rex. I was like, you could wear this, right? And you see the T-Rex kind of look at me like, So now I have a cookie costume for my T-Rex, my tiny T-Rex.
Okay. Real quick, let me talk about your companion. For the most part, instead of doing an action in your round, you can use your companion to do a thing for you. This is part of the cipher system, which means that that there are like a whole deck of power cards, if this is showing up on screen, that have different functions that they will do here. The tiny T-Rex has very sharp teeth and is also very tiny. So you can send the tiny T-Rex to go crawl through small holes to do a thing, and can also be sent as an attack of like go for their ankles.
Awesome.
I think everybody else also has another. I know T-Rex was another one. Is there any other powers that people have, or companions people have? While I'm talking about them,
Robert has a pet robot dog named Rover.
Furiously looking up things on stream.
That'll happen.
I was gonna say all the good DMs do.
The robot dog can be taught new tricks, and you may optionally have it show off a new trick, which will give you 2 smarts to your smart pool.
Nice. So if my dog does a trick, it makes me smarter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Anybody else?
Copperfield has a flying octopus called Carla Marie.
Nice.
The octopus can get into very small places and is a master lockpicker.
Cool.
So you can just like pick a lock or pop open a door or chest or something like that.
Okay.
Is that everybody's companions?
I have a fast car.
A fast car. Neat.
Cool companion.
So if you are ever attacked, the fast car can run over and pick you up and drive you away from combat, such that you get defense. Like you just automatically succeed at a defense roll.
So it's a Batman car.
Yep.
Just beep it.
After they've used their power, you have to feed them a treat, which I believe everybody gets 3 treats of the appropriate kind for their animal or companion. So like for the robot dog, it's a battery. For the fast car, it's probably like I don't know, can of gas. A juice box filled with gasoline. Okay. For the tiny T-Rex, it's a bite-sized comet. All right, but something like that. You have a little treats.
Yeah.
And it takes an action to feed them, in which case they will either regain their current power or you'll get a fresh one. All right, but now that the rules explanation's out of the way.
Do you have a companion, Stumps?
Do I have a tiny T-Rex as well?
Oh, sweet.
Tinysaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
For his treat, could it be like tiny goats?
Tiny
Like,
goats? Yes.
Sort of like Jurassic Park. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so it's a tiny T-Rex that's like maybe the size of like a cat, like a mid-sized cat, not a big cat, like a mid-sized cat. And then there's little tiny goats that you've got.
Yeah, exactly.
They go
In your pocket.
In my pocket.
in your pocket.
And so you're constantly going, "Meh." All we hear.
Idea of a wizard that's walking around with a pouch full of tiny goats is
That's
breaking my
amazing.
brain. That's wild.
I think I know what my next D&D character is going to be. All right. So, you have head out down the road, traveling through Eladuk, where there are where it's a fairly nice day, and you're heading towards Knobbly Hill. Now that you know where that is, and you come to the Bridge Troll toll bridge, where the toll taking bridge troll lives. And the bridge has a big out of order sign trying to cross it, and rightly so, because it is definitely out of order. It's been smashed so badly that the middle is on the side and the end is in the middle. And the troll is there, and the troll looks a little unhappy. Okay, no, he looks very unhappy. I'm very unhappy. As he's looking at his broken bridge. Now, normally you would have to just pay toll to cross the troll bridge. And in this case, you can't because he's not taking it because his bridge is broken. It crosses a ravine. This is really the only way to go across the ravine unless you've got some other trick about that.
This is a different troll from the troll that we believe is the cookie
That
thief.
was Augur the ogre.
Ah, ogre. Sorry.
Yeah, it's an ogre. It's an ogre that took all the cookies. This is the troll that runs the toll bridge.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Mr. Troll, you look very sad.
Heroes. Nobody can cross the bridge today until it gets fixed. That darn ogre, we had an agreement and he smashed my bridge. He was carrying all the cookies and he dropped one. He got so mad he smashed the bridge. Look at this. How am I supposed to make any money now?
That ogre seems to have been causing problems today.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do about it? I mean, I could fix the bridge, but I don't want to.
Why? Why don't you want to fix your bridge? I mean, it's all smashed here. You know, you're having a bad day. I'm assuming this is your only source of income.
It's
And you don't
Blues
want to fix
Day.
your bridge.
I don't work on Blues days.
Yes, that's a good policy.
So I'm imagining that Robert's chosen weapon is a giant wrench that he walks around with.
Sure.
Is there, looking at this bridge, does it look like a wrench would do anything for it?
I mean, I've played enough video games to know that you could just smack something with a wrench and it will start fixing it.
That's how I use
There's a big like comically sized hex head that you just like and it will fix it. You could certainly start to work on this. This would definitely be, I think, a tough check to get this to start turning that. It's going to be probably a couple because this bridge is really out of order. So
Okay.
we'll set. It's not necessarily very difficult, but it is definitely going to be something that your character will need to probably do a couple times. We'll set the difficulty on this at a 4
Okay.
to start the process of fixing the bridge.
Companions, do you think you can help me to fix this bridge using the power of friendship? So I will, this is a tough check, so I would use one of my tough points to bring
Yeah, you can
the
use
down
one
to
of your
the-
tough to bring it down from a 4 to a 3.
Okay.
I can
And
give
then-
you. Oh no, I can't give you a tough. Sorry,
No, but you can give him an awesome.
I got only one awesome though.
Yeah. So if anybody's going to help you, they give you an awesome.
What is
Because
this
it's awesome
bridge?
to help people.
Like, what is this, a large bridge?
It's
Is
a pretty
this-
big. It's a pretty big bridge.
What
It's
is it?
it's got a fairly wide gap. It would be tricky for somebody to cross it by jumping. It's like that's why there's a bridge there. But some of you can fly or have supernatural nimbleness could get across it that way. Like you could skip the whole bridge that direction. There's also a you could also get help potentially fixing the bridge. You can ask Toll, the bridge troll, to help you fix it, or you know that there's some carpenter bees that live that they're just on the river on the coastline, which is pretty close to here. And you can go and ask the carpenter bees, and they can certainly just reconstruct a bridge because they're really good at carpentry.
Now, before you start, Robert, maybe I can drive on over and talk to the carpenter bees.
Yes, certainly could.
I support that idea.
All right.
Ciao,
Although
my
it
friend.
lies less on friendship.
Let's split the party. Yes.
All right. So Donut, the super smart spy cat, runs down, pops in the car and takes it up the road or down, which goes down the hill, following the river to the port where the carpenter bees are working. And they say, "Arr, what can we help you with?"
Dang it. Should have brought the pirate.
Also pirates.
For sake of argument, if anybody else wanted to if you wanted to say everybody piles into the car and you all drive down there, I'll accept that. If you want to just not split the party.
You cool with that,
That
Don?
would be good. Oh, yeah.
All
Come
right.
on. Hop on in,
Second.
but no scratching.
I
is
imagine though
new.
that the super fast car is really small. So when everybody piles in, they're like, it's either like a clown car when you get out, so they all start popping out of this way too small thing, or it's like an orc battle wagon where they're all piled on top of each other as they drive along. Whichever one is funnier. I think that everyone's piled on top of each other as this like little tiny car drives along. But you get there. Arr! We carpenter bees can certainly help fix a bridge up for you. But yeah, that's what us sea bees are good for.
Oh,
I love
look,
it.
they're pirates. They're pirates. Oh, where are you bee from? Is this where you originally bee from? I'm very excited.
Now, Kara knows all about the sea bees. They normally do repairs on ships.
Yes, the bees.
In case you couldn't got it, this game has a lot of puns and jokes baked into it. So they normally work on ships, but you can help do it. But we won't be doing it for free. We be professionals. Exposures for chumps. What can you offer us? Now, everybody is carrying one coin. This is the money of the realm. They're pretty rare to come by. Normally you get them for defeating monsters. In the actual game, let me just pull up my rules explanation music here. So in the actual game, coins are used for are basically like your level up function. You can buy equipment that gives you bonuses that you can use for later on. But you can use coins also for buying stuff mid-game if necessary.
Are there any flowers around the area?
Yeah, there's some flowers around the area.
I know, since I've worked with sea bees before, I know exactly what type of flower they want. They want the purple lily. It's their favorite. So I'm gonna go try and find a purple lily on the bank to see if I can find a couple of those to bring in and be like, I'll give you these.
So this sounds like a smarts check to be able to find the right kind of lily, unless there's something about these lilies that would be like purple lilies always run from you, so that you have to catch them. But I think this would be a smarts check to just find the right kind of flowers.
Yes.
And we'll make in order to collect enough flowers for this happen, I think we're going to need 3 people out collecting flowers. And we'll set the smarts check not very difficult. We'll say the smarts check is a 3.
Oh God. And I'm like, I had to get everybody, huddle. All right. So we don't have to, I don't know what bees would want with money. So let's go try and find some purple lilies. They love those. Just trust me, they love those. Are we good? You ready, set, go? Go team.
What a perfect idea. I'm all up for this task.
All right. So difficulty is 3, and I just want to hear somebody that say that they do it. And if you spend your and if you're spending a smart point, make sure you spend a smart point before you roll, and that will reduce the difficulty to 2. And if anybody's helping anybody do it, and specifically trying to help, they can spend an awesome point to reduce the difficulty to 2, etc.
Is this a situation where would this count as knowledge based if I know something about how or where purple lilies grow, so I could say bleep bloop in order to?
You certainly could. You could just be like, you would have to tell me a fact about purple lilies, where they grow, say bleep bloop, and then spend a smart point, and you'll just succeed. No dice involved.
Purple lilies, bleep bloop. They always grow to the south of willow trees. And I go and find some purple lilies.
There you go. You found a bunch of purple lilies. But that's a good amount of purple lilies, but you're gonna need 2 more batches. So I need somebody else to make a smarts check.
Copperfield will join. Got a 5.
So you find a bunch of purple lilies and you bring them too. And we have one more person to make a smarts check.
Stubbs will, because he can fly up and try and see if he can see any from the sky.
Okay.
Get him. 4.
That's enough. He spots some purple lilies as well. So you guys come back with armloads of bouquets, and the CBs are like, yeah, this be enough. All right, come on, mateys, let's run up and fix the bridge. And they all zzz, and they fly up there, and they start fixing it. And by the time you all pile back in the car and drive back up there, the bees are like, they're making a cloud, and there's the sound of saws and hammers going, and there's just a cloud of animated stuff. And then the bridge is good as new. And Toll, the troll of Toll Bridge is there, and it's just like, comes back, and he's like munching on a mushroom that he went off to get, and he's like, I left for a snack, and the bridge is rebuilt. Hooray! It'll be 1 coin to cross the bridge.
We fix bridge, we go free.
Can I slap him?
You smack him?
I would love to just slap him.
Yeah, just slap him.
I want to slap the mushroom out of his hand.
Sure. This melee attacks are typically tough rolls. His he is a tough of he has a tough of 4. So let's talk about how monsters work. Monsters or enemies, foes in the game have a level. That level is how difficult it is to hit them, how difficult it is to avoid being hit by them, how difficult it is to trick them, or basically anything related to doing this is what this level is, and that basically sets the difficulty for everything. They also have what's called a skill and a quirk. A skill is usually some sort of combat advantage, something that they can do. And a quirk is some sort of a penalty or a secret about them, that if you do the thing, that you can oftentimes defeat a monster just by knowing how to do the thing and doing the thing. And every monster has one. So figuring out the quirk of a monster is the way to get out of a really tough fight. in this particular case, somebody had gone through the work of downloading information about trolls specifically, and therefore you know that trolls are really don't like bright light, and they will, if they get shown with a bright light, they will become like petrified for a little while, and then they'll recover.
Okay.
And up to this point, the troll has been sort of hanging out in the shade because he hates bright light.
I hold on to this information. I am thinking about this information, but I absolutely want to see the mushroom smacking happen before I say.
So the troll has level 4, which means that in order to smack this will be a tough roll, a difficulty 4.
Okay.
I'll throw my awesome into. I have one awesome. I will throw it into the
Okay.
smacking of the mushroom.
So that's 3, and then if you spend any tough points, it reduces it to a 2.
I got a 1, so.
So you go to smack it out of the hand, and he's like, "Ah, that's mine."
Attack!
Wait. Don't get too hasty. We still have to test the bridge for its safety.
Okay.
It's not all done yet. You
Oh no,
wouldn't
the
want to
CBs
step
work
on
really fast on that, so it looks like it's all done.
But as you can see, we're the inspectors.
Ah, got it. So I think that you could probably go to confuse the troll. His level is 4, so this would be a smart check.
I can. How many points can you use? Only one.
Only 1, but so you
use-
can only use 1 point. Anybody can only use 1 point on it, but you would use smart, and anybody else would use awesome.
Okay.
By the way, your character, I don't know if I mentioned this, you're a super smart spy cat, which means that you actually get an additional 1 to your smart pool. So your smart pool, baseline of your smart pool is 4.
Okay. I will use a smart point.
Okay.
And I will add an awesome to that.
Okay.
We should test the weight capacity.
We're just gonna have a weight capacity sign on the bridge.
It's just a picture of all of us.
Yeah, just a picture of all of us.
That's how you test weight capacity, right? You
gonna say
drive
test
heavier and
the
heavier
size.
loads over it until it collapses, and then you figure out that, and then you just rebuild the bridge, and then you know.
At least
Physics.
one of us can fly.
Oh
right.
man. Okay, here we go.
So this is a 2, I think, because somebody's helping you, and you're rolling and you've got a smart in that.
Oh, I got a 1.
No.
Oh, I know all about you and your tricks. Get away from that bridge.
I want
is
to
anybody
throw
else-
my Tinosaurus Rex at him
Okay.
to attack his face.
All right. So go ahead and just roll a straight roll.
6.
So your Tinosaurus Rex, like, what about a pocket T-Rex? And you toss it in there, and the guy's like, "Nyah, nyah, 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 nyah," and he's like, "Rah, rah, 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 get him off me! Get him off me!" Rah, rah, rah. And he starts running around in a circle as the T-Rex is as nomming on him. Does anybody else have an action they want to perform?
I'm gonna run across the bridge.
You book it.
Distracted.
He's distracted. You book it. All right.
Is it reasonable to say that as a robot, there is some part of my person that generates light? Can I have like a
Sure.
flashlight palm?
Absolutely.
Okay. I would like to just go to the entrance of the bridge and like flash a flashlight palm Iron Man style kind of thing at the troll and usher the rest across the bridge.
I
Is
decided
that
to
sort
do
of like a
something.
beep boop tuck to the hand?
Yes.
All right. So you flashlight. So people start running across the bridge. The troll tosses the T-Rex off, who goes "Nyah, nyah, nyah," and then retreats back to Stumps' pockets. And then the troll starts chasing after, and then you flash the troll with a bright light right in the face, and the troll's like, "Yeah!" and is stuck.
I hoped it wouldn't come to this.
He'll be okay.
We
Because
might be friends.
They recover, but so he's fine. But yeah, he's stuck, paralyzed, and everyone's able to cross the bridge.
Can I, as I'm running across the bridge, can I look for the treasure? Like, he's collecting coins. Like, where is he keeping his coins?
You absolutely can. He has there is a cash box in a small cave underneath where the bridge is. He's got like a little office set up there with like an uncomfortable folding chair and like a Formica countertop with a coffee maker in it, and then there's like a little cash box. This is like his break area.
Yeah.
And you just yoink. As it turns out, the cash box. What?
I take his cupcake too.
And his cupcake. And you take his cupcake, and you get 5 coins, and his cupcake.
As we're crossing the bridge and we're like finally over, I want to make eye contact with him, and I want to like lift up Tiny Saurus, and I want to feed a goat to him and just make eye contact as Tiny Saurus just rips apart this goat. And now he's fed and recharged.
Okay. Do you want the same attack power that you had before, or do you want to get a new cipher?
Let's do a new one.
A new one? Okay.
Well,
it'll be a new power, so you won't be able to just throw him in somebody's face. He'll have a different thing.
Okay, let's do a new one, because there's another T-Rex who could always be thrown at people's faces.
Okay. I am going to very briefly shuffle and draw 2 cipher cards. So the T-Rex, after using its jaws, is done with biting people, and has now decided that it wants to use its powerful legs and will, as your defend action, run over and pick you up and carry you out of harm's way. This is the same power that the car currently has.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Very cool.
I'm guessing that it's not powerful enough legs that he can like curb stomp someone. It's only for transporting.
This is just a defensive power.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Okay.
Well done, everyone.
All right. So you start heading back through the countryside. The territory goes into the hills where ogres and dragons and trolls and other beasties reside. The landscape has a kind of like a thorny view to it. There's like these overly large thorn bushes that sort of are off of the road, so you can't get too much off there. But it is not too much longer before you get to the Knobbly Knoll, and it's a small hill, as the name implies, and it is covered by knobbly-looking trees. And then there's like a bit of a little cave underneath it. And Augur the ogre is sitting there, kind of near the cave, with just stacks and stacks of cookies. and he's eating them very slowly, but he's not like nah. He's just like, yeah, he's sitting there. He's kind of relaxing. He'll occasionally take a cookie there. And and I think he's not seen you yet. So you have an action that you can take at this point.
What is our plan?
Well, I do have this cookie costume for my tiny T-Rex.
Okay.
We could
Please say more.
we could take my tiny T-Rex and put him down to stand still like a cookie. And he looks like he's hoarding cookies. So if he comes out and goes for the tiny T-Rex attacks, and then we all attack. Watcha!
All right. So by the rules, normally no, but I told you I would yes and anything. So here's what I'll do. In order to get your tiny T-Rex to stand long enough to put the costume on it, you're gonna have to spend one of your 3 T-Rex treats.
Okay, I will do that. So now we have a tiny T-Rex in a cookie costume.
Okay.
Can we have the T-Rex distract the ogre and make him chase the T-Rex so we can steal the cookies back?
Biting is a pretty big distraction.
It's true. You saw what happened to the troll.
All right. And I communicate this somehow to my tiny T-Rex.
All right.
And he's going to be running around just as like a cookie that has legs for some reason.
I have this really big head and these really small arms. I don't know. This plan was really thought well out. All right. So that seems to be the trick. So you're going to take your tiny T-Rex and go and send it out to look like a cookie with teeth.
Sort of pointy teeth. Unless anybody else has any other idea.
I like that idea. I have been programmed to avoid violence.
But if he catches him, he's definitely going to bite him.
Is there anything in there's a cave, right?
Yeah, it's not a big yeah, it's a cave. There's a cave. I won't constrain myself by describing it.
Okay.
There's a cave. He's
know?
kind of standing at the entrance.
Do we know why he's got all the cookies? Like, is there any is he trying to make the ultimate, cookie ice cream or something?
Don't know. You couldn't get that information from the Bakelites when you talked to them.
Okay.
But now that you're here and you're looking at him, you do notice that he keeps scratching his head and looking around.
He's not eating them.
He eats them.
Okay.
But it's not like haha, and just but he's sort of sitting back, and there's the cookies over there, and he'll take one and he'll eat it. But it looks like they're much more just hoarded. They're you're reminded of Dragon Treasure, where it's just it's a pile of gold. Only in this case, it's cookies.
Is he stealing everyone's cookies?
It looks like he's taking everyone's cookies. There's a lot more cookies here than just the Bakelites cookies. I do recognize some of those cookies as belonging to some of the other nearby lands. He looks like he's taken basically every cookie he can find.
It feels like he's trying to figure out some recipes. I don't know if anyone else is getting that sense.
All right, but a very small T-Rex or very big cookie, depending on how you look at it, is sneaking forward. So you guys are going to need to do something here before too long, because the T-Rex cookie has come up and is gonna be biting on him, I think.
He'll just run around for a little bit, see if he gets chased.
Okay.
As a distraction first.
More cookie with legs, and he stands up he's got a big knobbly club that's there, and he starts chasing around the cookie with legs as it runs around a little circle.
I am going to try to get in a position to, if the ogre is distracted long enough or moves far enough away from the cave, to just start taking cookies.
Okay.
Try to steal the cookies
I
back.
think that will be a fast check. Normally the difficulty would be 5, but because Augur is distracted, the difficulty is 4.
Okay.
I will give an awesome
Okay.
point to that. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm also going to use a fast point. So I think that brings it down to 2.
Yes, because that's what the math says.
Hooray, math.
Yay for math.
But I rolled a 1.
Oh no! So as you're running over there to go steal some cookies, Augur notices you and says, "No, those are my cookies. You want cookies? You deal with Augur." Ah! And he comes, and he's no longer paying attention to the car that's running around. Or the car. Sorry, the little T-Rex with cookie in a cookie costume.
In Copperfield, go up and try to do some magic tricks to distract him.
All right.
I don't know what he does. Maybe like pull some roses out from a hat and start throwing it at the ogre.
Okay. That is actually like your specific nifty trait, if I remember correctly. So you pull out, you're like, oh yeah, well watch this, and you pull like a rabbit and then some doves and like, wait, no, that's not it, and then you just keep pulling stuff out, and he's just like, and he gets very confused by all the stuff that's now flying around his head. Who else has not done an action this round? This is a kind of, everybody should be able to do one thing and then he gets to act, and then everyone does one thing and then he gets to act.
Can I search to see if he's writing any notes or anything about these cookies, like to get or glean any information about why he's just hoarding cookies?
It doesn't look like there's anything handy, but you can try to make a smarts check. And the difficulty on the smarts check is going to be 5 to see if you can discern what it is or why he's hoarding all these cookies.
Okay. And I'll spend a smarts point.
Okay.
I'll add an awesome.
Okay, cool. I got 5.
Okay. So as you're looking around for anything for writing, hidden under a rock by the cave entrance, there is a book. It's a large book, but it's not very thick, and it's got like a little clasp on it, and it says The Secret Diary of Augur.
I'm gonna take that.
Okay. I didn't want to make any presumptions about whether or not you're gonna read Augur's secret diary.
I threw a T-Rex at someone's face. I'd have no problem stealing someone's diary.
Okay, so you have you get the secret diary and you start flipping through it, and he it's got some stuff in there where Augur's just like, Mama Ogre was mean to me again and sent me off, and nobody wants to be a friend of mine, so I got a plan, a secret plan. I'm gonna take all the cookies in the land, and then they will have to come and talk to me. They'll have to be my friend, because I will have the cookies, and they have to come deal with me because I've got all the cookies.
Well, that's some trauma.
Really, it's genius. I don't know why I haven't thought about this. I'm going to go steal some cookies. Goodbye, everybody.
Can I communicate that to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. I communicate that to everyone.
Augur would be very upset about this, but he is currently too confused by a bird in a top hat, like a dove in a top hat flying around his head.
Awesome.
Robert, this is your moment. Make friends.
I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I think Kara and Donut still have actions in this cycle first, though.
Yes.
I didn't know if we counted the tiny T-Rex.
I was calling the tiny T-Rex a surprise round action.
Okay.
Pretty surprising.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fast. So even though I probably heard this information, I really don't care. I want the cookies.
All right.
So I'm gonna go and try as fast as I can and use my plunder skill to be able to grab as many cookies as possible.
Okay. So how about this? So your plunder skill allows you to just take a thing.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking about that. I've got a number of cookies. I'm going to say that there are 5 units of cookies here.
Okay.
That's like plates or bags or jars or whatever worth of cookies. So
Okay.
I say that you can use your plunder to take one of those.
Okay.
Just as an automatic function.
Okay.
And then if you want to make a fast check of difficulty 5, you can see about stealing a second pile of cookies while Augur is distracted.
I think what I'll do is I'll steal one cookie and then call his name.
Okay. I mean, if it's just run over and grab one cookie, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over. I'm kind of pivoting a little bit. I think I'm gonna grab a cookie and then call his name and say, Augur! Stop that now. I have one of your cookies and I would like to share it. I have a cookie that I brought with me.
My cookie! My cookie! Stupid bird! Get away! Cookie!
Can I use my persuasion to kind of persuade him to talk to me instead of being a raging ogre?
Yeah, you can certainly do that.
Okay.
So persuasion is a smart check instead of a fast check.
Okay. So +1, I'm gonna spend 2 smart points.
You can spend 1 smart point.
I get one. Sorry, I forgot.
I'll spend an awesome point.
Yeah.
So it's down to 2. Right. Okay. I got a 6 anyway. So I say, Augur, I have one of your cookies and I know why you're taking them. Come over here and talk to me.
Give me cookie back. Wait, talk. Why talk?
I'll give it back
cookies.
to you.
You want cookies? You need to deal with me. I've got the cookies.
What am I doing right now? I'm dealing with you.
All right. So you've started to you've engaged Augur in dialogue.
Mhm.
So that will be then on his turn. He brushes away all the fancy magic stuff away from him, and he comes over to you, and that's all he does because he was confused this round because of fancy magic stuff. So it is back to party order. You guys can do this in whatever, or I can call on you.
Donut, have you done anything yet?
I was gonna say,
Oh no, didn't Donut? Did I skip somebody?
Yeah,
I was
Donut
thinking
has-
about my turn because
okay.
now I have sympathy for this guy. I want to assist Kara. Like, is it Kara or Kara, by the way?
Kara's good. I like Kara.
Yeah. Is there a way to assist Kara? How's that
Yeah,
work?
you can also talk to Augur, be there, and also just talk to him about things, what's going on, as your own thing. So the way I'm doing this is I basically giving Augur Augur has a number of hit points. If you use violence against him, that he gets bonked down, and then when he loses that, he gets knocked out. But I'm also giving him a number of talk points. So if you beat his talk rating, like if you win enough checks of talking against him, then he will be able to. Then you'll have defeated him that way.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to him then.
Okay.
Say, I'm gonna come out of the bushes. So I feel like we've been hiding or something. And I'm gonna run on over to where Kara is. Augur, we're about to be your friends, but you have to hear us out before we decide that. Okay?
Friends? No, Augur no have friends. No friends. No friends for Augur. Augur only have people don't want to be Augur friend. People know like Ogre. Go ahead and roll your smart check for me to see if you're getting through to him.
Okay. Yeah, I want to say I also want to say we want to be your friends. That's what I'm saying.
Once again, he scratches the back of his head. He's very confused. Seems a little confused on that. But go ahead and roll smart. And the difficulty is 5 because he's a level 5 ogre.
I'll spend a smart point.
Okay.
I will give you an awesome.
All right.
May not have won this time. 2? I got a 2.
Not a 1.
Not a 1.
All right. Okay. Now he's done with that. He gets confused. Start of the round. Do you want to just try it again? Just take initiative for the first round?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. So let's say you continue to talk to him about this, and try to get through to him. Go ahead and make another roll.
Okay.
I will use my last awesome because I want to support this.
Oh,
I'm
I'm using my smart check too.
Okay.
I got a 4 though, so
That would be enough. So his difficulty is 5. You used a smart, he used an awesome, so that brings it down to a 3, which means that's successful. So he's like, "What? Man, I never have friends. I don't have friends. No one counts. No one ogre friend." And he seems to be reconsidering his options in life. Somebody else has an action.
I would like to also move up. Augur, friendship is not purchased with cookies. Friendship is a gift that must be freely given. Will you accept my friendship?
How many cookies does that cost?
It is free, my gift to you.
But everyone likes cookies. Therefore, they must like cookies to be friends. Go ahead and see if you can make a valid counter argument on this point.
You can give me cookies as a gift if you like, but it is not required.
All right. So he scratches the back of his head, and you make your difficulty 5 smarts roll.
I'm using a smart point for this.
Sure.
Anybody gonna help me out with an awesome? Denzel.
Oh, yes, my last awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so that brings us to 3, right? That I need. I got a 5.
Yay. All right. But you want the cookies. You're just trying to be friends so you can get cookies. I know you. I've got cookies, and you have to deal with me for the cookies.
I am a robot. I do not eat cookies.
What? You don't? Some people have it worse than me. All right. Somebody else want to take an action? Kara, Stumps, D. Copperfield.
Copperfield switcher enables his human voice function, so I don't have to speak. And he goes and like, I don't eat cookies too, and I would like to be your friend as well.
Two
Then he sits
two
down and
people
slowly-
want to be
Yeah.
Ogre's friend? No, you're trying to trick me. Okay, go ahead and make a smarts roll to see if you can talk Augur into to convince to Augur that you're not trying to trick him.
Okay. 3. Can I use the smart?
You so typically you would use your smarts before you roll,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
okay.
somebody else who has awesome points could also help you with that.
My
Well, in this
last
case,
one.
so you're getting an awesome from Donut,
Last one.
and you used the smarts in this case.
Mhm.
Okay, and what did you roll?
A 3.
A 3. 3's enough. Augur's never had one friend before, let alone 2 friends. It's just weird. I don't know if I like this. This is things are wrong. We've got Stumps and Kara, the last 2 to go this round. But you're getting through to him. You are definitely are getting through to him.
Got some cognitive dissonance going on.
You two just want to throw your T-Rexes so bad. I know it.
I do. However, what I do instead is I take the T-Rex who is still in the cookie costume, BT Dubs,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, yes, it's very hard to make friends when you are tough and you look tough and you're mean, you look mean, but on the inside, we're all really like soft, warm cookies, just like my little T-Rex buddy right here. Roll it. So, however, I can convince him that it's okay that he looks the way he looks, and that people will want to be his friends anyway.
Maybe. All right, so go ahead and make your roll.
Is it a smart or
Smarts. This is smarts.
smarts? Okay. So I've got I'll spend a smart point and then my 1 persuasion as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're
I got a
all
four.
cookies. That's the
We're
real
just-
lesson here.
we're
We're all
all
like
cookies.
cookies.
Exactly. Warm and fuzzy on the inside. Warm and soft and gooey. I got a 4.
That's enough. Wait. You all want to just be my friend? You'll hang out with me and let me go on adventures and play. And what about other people? Is it just us, or do you think anybody else would be my friend?
For Stumps' turn, can he
So-
have written down a recipe in the diary for a cookie?
Absolutely.
So Stumps wrote down a recipe for cookies and closes it, latches it, comes over, brings it to Augur and says, if you made cookies and gave them to people, that might be a bit better than stealing and, kicking people's asses for cookies, because that tends not to work well to make friends. But if you make cookies, that might be a way in to get friends.
You could just make cookies?
You can, my friend.
That's an idea that's not half baked.
Nice.
And with that, I think we're going to take a quick break before we start the second episode. Like maybe a minute to hit the washroom and get some water.
Sounds good. Oops. Donut. Donut.
I went ahead and sent us back because catching that is perfectly funny. Robert.
Thank you.
All right.
So episode 2 is continuation or a totally different episode?
It's a different episode.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go. So here's what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna play another episode, and I'm not gonna do the full intro again this time, unless you guys really want me to. But what I mentioned this for everybody, that you should all refresh yourselves back up to your starting values for your things, and then everybody can gain 1 additional point in a thing. So 1 additional smart point or awesome point or tough or fast.
Does that include my tiny goats? Are they back up to 3? Retreats?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Wait, do I have like 3 gas juice boxes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got three things. This is to keep you from just like continually fogging your character, your bonus guy.
Is the cipher still the same?
Yes, unless it was used or changed in some way.
Okay.
If anybody wants to swap their cipher out for something else, I would also be willing to do that. In which case, I'll randomly shuffle some up, and then I will give you a new cipher for your.
That'd be kind of fun.
Okay.
I think I'd be down with that, just to try something new.
What is your companion?
It's the fast car.
It's a fast car. Okay.
I'll say I sold it for a new pet.
Oh, it's the same fast car, just has a different power.
Oh. I see. Interesting.
Yeah, because
okay.
the way the cipher system works is that you would have these cards, and then when you use a power, the card is spent, but then you get a new power, which forces the characters to have to to continue to work around that.
Got it. Okay.
So there's 2 different powers. One is the power of disguise. So in this case, your tiny fast car has a disguise kit in its trunk that you can go in there and put on a bunch of costume pieces, disguise yourself as something else, or shake it off, which allows you to which it comes over and picks you up, and then you can and then you feel better gaining 2 to your tough pool.
The disguise one is interesting, but I think someone already has disguise, something disguise related, right?
Possibly. That was a sort of I made up a cipher on the spot, and that was the cipher they made up. Because that was Kara's tiny. I should have written down who has which power.
Yeah, I'm cool to take that one if no one else has something similar to that.
I just had the tiny dinosaur in a cookie costume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, a saying that I'm excited is happening.
I forget what Stumps is.
Right now it's I have the tiny dinosaur, but it's the fast car power.
Oh, it's a T-Rex with the fast car power.
What a fun sentence to be able to say.
Yeah, that is absolutely a thing I said. All right. Now we're all back, and I think we're ready to go into introducing the next episode. Episode 18, Murder at Spookington Manor. Written and directed by Mike A. Pratt. Now, being a hero of Eladok is not all fighting monsters and eating cookies. Sometimes you get invited. Sometimes you also have to go to parties. Spookington Manor, deep in the heart of the Shadow Realm, has been recently renovated and is being opened as a luxury resort hotel with all the amenities. And as its grand reopening, the heroes of Eladok have been invited to stay there as a celebrity, and it's going to be a big party. It's kind of an obligation that you've got. It's kind of an obligation. Now, remember, this is taking place in the deep, dark area, and Spookington Manor is, of course, haunted. In fact, the staff are all ghosts. They're like sheet over the head kind of ghosts with the eye holes and just the white sheet. The characters are brought in, and the head ghost gets up there and he's like, "Yeah, thank you all for coming to the reopening of the Spookington Manor Resort Hotel. We've got some very distinguished celebrities here, and I would like to personally tell you a little bit about the Spookington Manor Resort Hotel. Now, you may know that this was created, that this manor was built by the late Lord Reginald Spookington. I say late because he was supposed to be here 20 minutes ago. And we have all of the amenities here. There are, in addition to the rooms, there is the buffet maze, the science lab, the dungeons, the pool, and of course, the grounds are filled with graveyards, so there's room for the whole family. Now, if you will please come with me, to get things started off, I will like all the honored guests to come and partake in some tea and tea cakes. And you're led into a large dining room. Now, this is, of course, a gothic horror setting, so it's got like plush red carpets and dark wood, black walls, and there are chandeliers hanging down that have cobwebs across them, and the table is laid out with a white cloth with candles, with candelabras, and the staff is coming and going, and they're all ghosts with the white sheet over the head, and they come through. In addition to you, there's a couple prominent figures of the Shadow Realm there, but there's also a few foreign dignitaries. In fact, actually, who wants to tell me one of the foreign dignitaries? Just make something up on the spot, because I didn't write this part into my adventure. Somebody want to tell me some foreign dignitary?
I'm gonna take a stab at this. We
Sure.
could do one of, my cat people.
Yeah.
Ralph.
Ralph?
The turd, and they are like their family are the creators of Fancy Feast. Is where they got most of their wealth. So.
I'm sorry, did you say Ralph the turd?
Yeah.
Okay.
His father was Ralph the second. There was a pun there, and it got away. All right.
That was great.
Although I like that, the Ralph the Third, of the Fantasy Feast dynasty.
Well, Fancy Feast, maybe not Fantasy Feast, but.
Ralph was number 2.
All right, that was cool. Take an awesome point for that.
Oh, cool.
Thanks for volunteering. But you're sitting around around the table, and the staff is coming and going, and this one the one of the ghost staff comes in and is like shaking with the tray and is kind of stumbling around and ends up like stepping on the sheet over their head and then sort of stumbling and tripping, and they just dump a bunch of silverware on the floor, and they spill tea on them, so there's like a stain now, and the manager who is inviting is like, "No, Lump, why'd you do that? You go clean up and bring some more silverware out for our honored guests. You can't be, take that away. Sorry about that. Help. You can't have really good help these days." And so you guys are there and you're engaging in polite conversation, eating little jam cakes and drinking tea as you properly would. When all of a sudden there's a thunderclap and the lights flicker and you hear a blood-curdling scream from the next room over, and the sound of like metal pots and pans falling kind of thing, and collapsing, and the sound of breaking glass, and it draws your attention, and you scramble over there real quick and you throw open the doors, and lying in the middle of this room is Lump. Their sheet is lying on the ground. You can tell it's Lump because it's still got that tea stain on it, and there's a knife stuck right into it, onto the ground, into the carpet through the sheet, and there's a little bit of red on the blade of the knife. And a quick scan around the room, you can see there's a door flipping, and there's a like a conspicuous footprint trail that leads over to that door, right past where the body is. It's like that, almost like the dance step footprints kind of thing, but it's like that. You can see that there's statues, suits of armor, and one of them has been knocked over and its armor pieces are everywhere. And then high up, there's a balcony, like a gallery balcony, with windows there, and that one of the windows has been cracked. And the rain from outside is now like dripping in there. And also, as you bring your eyes back down, you spot what looks like somebody sitting out in the out in the yard by the out the windows. You could see them like out in the rain, and they were briefly illuminated by the thunder flash. And then when the light comes back, they're gone.
Now, is Lump dead? He was a ghost. So is he dead now? Can I check to see if he's truly, does he come back?
You go over and the sheet is empty. It's just an empty sheet. And it's pinned to the floor pretty well by the knife stuck in it.
I apologize if this is insensitive, but I didn't know that ghosts could be stabbed.
At this point in time, the late Lord Reginald Spookington enters in through the door that was flipping, and is like, "Whoa, what's all this then? What's been going on? A murder in my hotel? That won't work. Heroes, you need to figure this out. There's somebody wandering around as a murderer. We gotta get them. Manager, lock all the doors and make sure nobody can leave the grounds. We'll get this problem sorted out by sunrise."
Can Donut take a look at the manager or whoever else is in the room besides us and see if they have been out. It looks like they've been outside. It's like they're drenched or anything like that.
Lord Spookington does appear to be a bit wet around the edges. The manager does not. The manager looks like he was with you and had been basically with you the whole time, although the lights did go out for a hot minute there. So maybe.
Okay. What was his name again? Lord
Spookington?
Spook.
Reginald Spookington, the third, mind you.
Okay. Lord Spookington, where were you just now? Seems like you took a stroll.
Oh, I was just, dealing with some problems with the staff, but I was coming from the building on the other side. There's a spot where we haven't put up the canvas cover walkway yet.
Do you mind if you put your boot next to the footprint right there? We want to take a closer look.
Oh yeah, well, I suppose I can do that. And it's a close match.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't have a dun 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 audio cue up.
You're welcome.
I meant to have one. I don't have a dun dun dun.
I'll do it for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Mystery solved.
What? But that doesn't mean anything. Anybody could have left these conspicuous footprints on the floor here.
Do these ghosts that are working here have feet? Or are they actually floating sheets? Are they like people in sheets, or are they?
Well, it's well known that the ghosts are as spirits. They're actually invisible, and they wear the sheets over their heads so that people could see where they are.
But do they have footprints?
Yes, they would leave footprints.
Jeez.
So even the ghosts leave footprints.
But if you're invisible, do you wear clothing? That's the question. Would you be wearing shoes if you're invisible?
Your ghost feet still get cold, presumably, if you're walking around in the mud. I think the sheets, I'm understanding, are for the benefit of the living so that we know where they are, which is a kindness, I guess.
So you said that when they were stabbed and we inspected them, there was like nothing under the sheets, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Did you
should
say-
there?
Yeah.
How's that work? How's the spirit death work?
I would say that this is a difficult mystery to solve, and I'm going to make it a difficulty 6 smarts check to see if you can figure out why there would be nothing under the sheet.
Oh, that's very tempting. I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm presuming you're spending a smarts on this?
Oh yes, I am spending. I always think that like it's automatic. Like every time you make a check, you're supposed to. But
no, it's an optional thing. You can choose to spend a smarts or not. Is anybody else helping you out by spending awesomes?
I'm giving
an awesome.
Okay, real quick, show of hands. Who's giving an awesome? 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Is D.
No,
Copperfield
maybe-
giving an awesome as well?
That would be a 2 now, right? Would you need another?
Well, yeah, if you reduce it to 1, it becomes a cinch, and you can solve the mystery without having to roll.
that's so funny.
Nice.
Okay, I'll use one.
Break the game.
Yeah, just break the game.
Well, that is part of the game. If you can reduce a difficulty of any challenge to 1, you just no longer need to roll. You just do it. All right, so you guys huddle together and you're like, you talk about everything you know about ghosts, and you're like, oh, well, I know ghosts are invisible, but they have bodies? Not really, because they can pass through walls. But maybe there's no body under here at all. In fact, that red thing on there on the knife. Like ghosts don't bleed. I mean, they ectoplasm, but they don't bleed. That's jam. And this is just and you see that the sheet has been slightly ripped, like the knife was stuck into the ground, and then the sheet pulled on the knife, ripping it a little bit. Maybe it's not a case of murder after all. Maybe Lump is now sheetless, wandering around.
Lump, where are you, Lump?
Now you are gonna have to find him.
Question. Since ghosts can have footprints, is there more than one set of footprints?
Well, there's one conspicuous set of footprints that runs across the middle of the floor, and those apparently were
from the footprints underneath Lump's sheet.
Now Lump had left some soft footprints in the carpet, but I think you're going to need to make me another smarts check. In this case, the difficulty is going to be a 4 to see if you can successfully find Lump's footprints and determine where they came from and where they go.
Okay, and I'll spend a smart point for that.
Okay.
So
I will give you an awesome.
That's a 2, but I think with the smarts and the awesome.
With the smart and the awesome. So you guys take some time, you look at it, and it looks like there's some very quick footprints that run over to where that suit of armor has collapsed onto the ground. And there's a spot where there's like curtains on the wall. And it looks like those curtains, you push them aside a little bit, there's a secret passage.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep, I really needed a dun dun dun.
I'm on cue.
It was this one. Oh, I have a dun dun dun.
There you go.
Excellent.
I do have a dun dun dun. How about that? Okay, so there's a secret passage that leads from this room, and the footprints that you found lead right to the secret passage.
Thompson's going in the secret passage.
All right. The secret passage leads over to leads around, and you come out to you come out into a hallway that you've been told this is part of the buffet maze. It's a set of hallways that have that's got like sideboards along parts of it, and like little trays with like cookies have been set at regular intervals as you go along. And as you come out, or cookies, or sometimes fruit, sometimes like cherries or peaches or strawberries or something like that. And as you come out, you're not certain which way, but there's somebody there you can ask. There is a spider. It's a spider maid. She's got the little hat and the little black and white apron thing, and like she's pretty big. She's like what is that? A cut 2 feet across, like a poofy black thing with like 8 really cute eyes and some like little tiny spider legs, and she's up on the wall, and she's very carefully with a feather duster trying to get the dust off of the cobwebs.
Did anyone follow me into the passage, or did I just
I
go
presume
in there
that
without any-
you went first, and everyone is right behind
Okay.
you.
I definitely followed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dusting the cobwebs.
I think you are leading the way right now, Stumps.
Excuse me, ma'am. I kind of walk over to her and, sort of slightly nudge her without trying to startle her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, dearies. How? What can Miss Weaver do for you?
Odd question. Did you happen to hear anything running, through here, like within the last few minutes, after some screaming and some clashing, heavy breathing.
Oh yeah, I did. I did hear somebody coming through about the same place you were. I could do that, and I could maybe show you where they are. But I'm sorry, I'm in a real bother. I've been so caught up trying to dust these webs that I've completely forgotten to change out the cookies. Can you go through the maze and pick up all of the cookies, and then I can show you where the where that poor individual went. I know where they would be hiding, but I've got this other work I've got to do first.
I would be happy to help. You know who would love this place? Augur. We should have brought him.
Now, the little cookies that are laid out are actually not, they're, in my mind, they're like little meringue cookies. So.
Still a cookie.
It's still a cookie.
Yeah. I think Stumps is going to take some and put them in his bag for when they next sees. Hopefully they stay good. If not, I'm sure he'll still like them.
Like when we get there, right?
Yeah.
So tasked with finding all these cookies, going through the maze and locating these cookies.
Going through the maze and locating the cookies. What I would like is, I think that it's a pretty big task because it's a fairly substantial maze to get through. And I think what I want to hear is, the task level is going to be 4, and I'm going to need to have somebody pass a smart check, somebody pass a fast check, somebody pass a tough check. So smart to figure out their way through the maze, fast to be able to get through the maze quickly, and tough to be able to carry all the cookies once you've collected them all.
Okay. And just to clarify, so are we baking these cookies, or are these cookies?
No, they're like in little trays on little sideboards as you go along. They're pretty evenly spaced as you go through. But you got to get them all because they need to be swapped out. In fact, when they're all been cleared, then the staff can come in and put new cookies down for everybody.
We are exploring the maze and locating all of the cookies dispersed therein, and then bringing them back.
Cookies in the maze.
If a few disappear, is that okay?
That's fine, as long as they're all picked up.
Oh, okay.
You'll be doing Miss this here Orbelia a great favor.
I think Robert presses a couple buttons on his chest, and a tube comes out and starts just like detecting cookies. Just starts absorbing the smell fumes wafting through the air, and he starts searching for cookies. So I will initiate the smart check for that, and I will spend a smart point.
I can take care of the fast point by my running really fast trait.
Okay.
I can do the tough one. I flex my robot muscles. I go in as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's the number I have to get for the
difficulty on this test is 4.
4. Okay. Rolling for smart. And I got a 5.
Okay, so you figured out a good way to get through the maze pretty efficiently. There's a couple places where you might have missed a cookie, but you can double back and pick those up later. Okay. The fast is, I believe you're using a fast point and you're just succeeding because you can do that.
Can I?
I think so. I think that is that your actual trait? I thought that was your trait.
I have runs like the wind.
Yeah. Anytime you need to be fast, you can spend a fast point to just succeed.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Very wise.
So
Very
very,
well.
very quickly you zip through there. And then we need to get a tough check to see if somebody could pick up all the cookies.
Yeah, I'll use
They
the
carry
tough point.
all the cookies because there'll be a lot of them.
Yeah, I'll use the tough points.
Okay.
Mm. Oh, I got a 6.
Yay! In
Yay.
fact, you find it super easy because, like, hidden in the corners of the maze, like one in each of the corners, there's like a really big tray of really good cookies that are like super tasty and give you like a boost. And it was pretty tricky as you were starting to wander around because some of the staff was there too, just like wandering from place to place, kind of getting in your way. But when you got those big booster trays, they scattered and cleared the way, so you're able to finish it up really quick. And you return back to Orbelia, and she's like, "Oh, dearies, thank you so much. Let me show you," and takes you to a hidden room in the middle of the maze. And she's like, "Oh, here it is. I'm not supposed to normally let you in there, but you helped us so much." And she unlocks the door with a key in the shape of a small skeleton. And inside it's like a little it's a little bit like a break room, but it's kind of got some couches and stuff. There's like a ping pong table there and a pool table and some vending machines, and you hear some weeping. But you can't see where it's coming from, but there's like a
Lump, is that you, Lump?
Who are you? I mean, no. Maybe.
Can I get my flying octopus to like spray some ink to see where it is?
Okay.
Do the thing.
The octopus flies up and just like what I envision is that you start seeing these splats of ink and various things, and they're kind of different colors, and then the camera cuts back and the octopus is flying but is holding up a paintball gun and it's just shooting with the paintballs. And it smacks this figure, and you can kind of see them because they're now smacked by it. It's like, oh no, that's even worse. I lost my sheet and now I've got this. Oh, I wish I was dead. I mean, I wish I was more dead.
Lump, we came to check on you. We are here to help. I am Robert, the kind robot who is learning to love. My friends and I want to help you to be okay.
Oh, I messed up again. He doesn't seem to be very he seems to be much more self-absorbed. So I think you're going to need to break through his shell. This is going to be similar to Augur, actually, where somebody's going to need to make a smart check. The difficulty for Lump is 5, but he's got fewer hit points, fewer talk points than Augur does.
Okay. Can I initiate a smart roll with the thing I just said?
Yep.
Awesome.
Speaking of awesome, is anybody helping you out by being awesome?
I will give
spell
an
it.
awesome.
That was 2, it sounds like you're getting. Yes? Okay.
I believe so. So I think it's down to a 2 now.
Yes.
And I rolled a 3.
All right.
Yay.
I'm so clumsy. I always drop everything. And then I lost my sheet. This is a real problem. I don't know what to do.
It's hard to be in the service industry.
Yeah.
Wow, we found your sheet. It had jam on it, though.
Oh,
You might
no.
need a new one.
And I,
Yeah, but I can't wear that. Oh, what am I gonna do? I have to
Can
look my
ghosts-
best. I've got to be clean. I gotta look my best. And I'm covered in ink and my sheet's stained. I can't go out there like this.
You might not want to go out there. Seems like somebody might be gunning for you.
Are there any curtains in this room?
It's not
Or
a room with
there's
windows.
a window. Okay. Is there
Um,
anything like?
But there are
sheet-like?
there are curtains. There are deep red velvet curtains hung at dramatic intervals. That's sheet-like. And there are rooms upstairs that obviously would have sheets on them. And then there, of course, is the spider housekeeping service, which you encountered. You helped Miss Orbelia earlier.
I'm gonna not try to, necessarily talk and convince Lump, but I am going to kind of poke my head out, try to get Mrs. Weaver's attention,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
ask
yes.
her if would it be possible to get just a fresh sheet.
Oh, I can't say no to a guest. I guess I can get that for you right away.
Thank you
And-
so much.
She skitters off, and within 3 shake of a lamb chop's tail, she comes back, carrying a fresh sheet.
Thank you so much. Can I tip her a coin?
You can.
I'm gonna tip her a coin.
That was really awesome of you. Gain an awesome point.
So I bring that sheet back and
Okay. And I think I know where this is going. This episode's basically wrapped up at this point. So you toss the sheet over Lump's head. Lump's like, "Oh, I can't see anything." And somebody have scissors?
I have a
A
cutlass,
All right.
so I can take and I'll take the sheet and make some holes for eyes.
I want to make this a fast or tough. Normally melee attacks are tough. Fast seems like it might be more appropriate because it's a little bit more dexterous.
Okay.
Either one, your call, to see about making these there.
I could do a fast.
Okay.
What number?
We'll say a difficulty is 4 on this to cut these eye holes properly.
So I'll take 1 fast.
I'll give it awesome.
I will give an awesome also.
All right.
2, 1. That takes it down to 1, right?
Okay, yeah, so that's
Yep.
a cinch, and you're able to, with everyone working together, you're able to cut holes in the sheet, and Lump is like, "Yeah, I'm me again! I totally forgot to bring the place setting. I gotta go!" And he zips out the door with a fresh sheet billowing behind him, still a little bit long, and he kind of stumbles and trips and then keeps going. And that is the best of the ghastly, ghostly adventures. As it turns out, there was no murder here in the Spookington Manor. Or was there?
Dun,
Pom-pom.
dun, dun. There you go. I was waiting for it.
Well done, everyone.
All right. So that was No Thank You Evil. Thank you guys for playing. Anybody who's watching, thank you for watching. And I believe we're gonna and if you we're gonna get together, we're gonna talk about the game from a therapeutic setting, but I think that happens offline.
No, we do that here.
Oh, we do that
real
here.
quick, I wanted to comment that last setting gave me such big Disgaea vibes. All right. Yes. So what we want to do here for about 5 minutes is discuss amongst your, as a panel, what do you believe the therapeutic applications could be for No Thank You Evil? What are the benefits that you could see it being?
in the game or this module specifically, or just all of it?
What you've experienced with the game and what you've experienced tonight with the game. How could you apply this within your practice?
I think one of the things that stands out to me most is the mechanic of awesome. The idea of incentivizing, not just that it's easier to do things well when you're collaborating, but that we call it being awesome is really nice. I like that a lot.
I will mention one thing about this game. It is the characters were written when you write your character, you pick an adjective, a noun, and a verb, right? Robot, the kind robot who smites evil, which it turns out the smiting evil part didn't come up, but that's how it goes. And that if you play at younger levels, for younger kids, you don't fill out the whole sentence. You're just like Robert the robot for really young kids. And then they have fewer mechanics that they have to think about and have to work with on that because they don't have as many advantages or many powers. They just have that going for it. And if they're slightly older, then you can give them like the adjective, Robert the kind robot, which gives them another benefit and helps identify their character a little bit more. And so there's different levels of play. And the idea is that you could have a table with some really young kids at it and some slightly older kids and maybe some early teenagers or maybe another adult helping you out. And that they can play a more complicated system per their abilities rather than what it goes for.
That's really cool. The pets or the companions adding another cool level to that also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with little kids, the companion is just a cool thing that goes in the artwork, and they get like a picture. If this is showing up, this is not showing up.
Mm.
Ah, shit. Shoot.
Oh no.
I pushed
We're
the
close
wrong
enough to
button.
the end. I'm going to let it just be.
Making your work.
So Stumps is now Mike.
What? Yeah. So you can get cool pictures of their tiny T-Rex or whatever it happens to be.
That's
Or
adorable.
Nice.
yeah, they've got great artwork on all of these. The Dust Bunny.
Oh, that's so cute.
Love it.
Yeah, so they got great artwork on all of these, and so very young kids would just get a cute dinosaur that is their pet. But the older kids are like, oh, I've trained my dinosaur to wear a costume and distract the ogre or whatever it happens to be.
Mm-hmm.
It does leave a lot of room for creativity, right? Like with D&D, like, you know, that's the main system I'm familiar with. Like, you know, there's a lot of mechanics, a lot of rules of what you can do, what you can't do. This seems a lot more open world where, you know, you can, you know, play your character however you want to at any moment in time. It could change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that idea of having different layers of complexity even within the same group, right? So, you know, I'm glad that you pointed that out, Mike, because I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking that any group of people that were playing together would all have the same level of complexity of their character. But when you have kids with different age ranges, they can still be engaged without having to do things to the same mechanical complexity. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few other mechanics that we didn't end up seeing, like damage. You guys never got damaged. When you get damaged, they actually take points off of your attributes, depending upon which attribute you got hit from.
Mm.
And then they roll over. So if you run out of your points in tough, then they go fast and they go off of smart, and then awesome is last, so that you can continue to help people even when you're out. And then if you run out, then your character is just knocked out, and then you'll come back to the next scene. And then you've got that fun rating, which didn't come up either because we didn't play long enough. But that's like a refreshes your pool if you've been spending all of your points or you've been taking damage. The game also has a setting itself with like a whole map, which I based some of it on. I wrote this adventure and these things kind of a little bit based on that. But when I wrote this, I had the idea, I wrote these adventures with certain like stereotype things, like Augur the Ogre is I built him as a stereotypical bully character, where he's like, where he kind of gets beat at home because his parents are also ogres and they're not nice people, and nobody likes him. So he's got this plan that he's gonna do, but he also has like not a lot of people skills. He's much more mashing with hammer than talking nicely to people.
Yeah.
And
I
then
couldn't attack him after that.
Yeah, and then the Murder at Spookington Manor, I wrote it with the idea that kind of I think it's the act system where the characters need to back up and observe and think about the situation rather than be immediately thrown in there, right? Because you guys were like, oh, well, there's clearly this guy because his footprints match and he's wet and he's outside and there was other thing. And then you're like, wait a minute, let me think about, can they die? Did I not think about this right? Did they not take a step back rather than deal with what's in front of them? Because if you deal with what's in front of you, then that kind of leads you the wrong way to solving it. That's how I wrote it.
I like that. Hey, who was the figure out in the field with
that is Erwin, the ghost hunter.
Oh, we never got to meet Erwin the ghost.
You never got to meet Erwin the ghost hunter. I was going to use a really terrible Australian accent for him.
I really like Mrs. Weaver though. I fell in love with her as soon as you did the voice.
I'm terrible at voices, so I'm glad I was able to get some of that done.
Also wondering why a spider is cleaning spider webs.
She's dusting cobwebs.
Yes, I know, but
well, they dusting
the cobwebs clean.
because that's also the joke, right? Because when you dust cobwebs, it's normally you knock the cobwebs off of the ceiling. Yeah. But instead, she's getting just the dust off of the cobwebs that are on the ceiling.
Oh, she's literally dusting the cobwebs.
Yeah, I tried to make that clear. Like she's up there very carefully knocking the dust off of the cobwebs.
Don't measure anything by me. That just went straight over my head. That's why I was like, that makes a lot more sense. I also got distracted with drawing 8 eyeballs when she had described Mrs. Weaver.
Oh, if you've got fan art from this game, I absolutely want to see it.
So there's 2 things I wanted to add on to like the things we like about it. First is the whimsical nature really opens up the possibilities of how you can solve problems. It encourages players to be as whimsical, and that's a lot of fun. And number 2, I really like the setup I guess for DM prep, you've got like the 4 acts that you're talking about, and it's all centralized around solving a problem, which I thought was interesting because like in D&D, it's not always around a problem. It might just be an incentive, like, oh, there's something that we can get out of this, but this is actually like you're heroes, you're solving a problem, which takes a lot of critical thinking and understanding and empathy. So I really like that part.
Yeah, the solving a problem part is important when you're writing the adventure as well, because if you give the players here's a problem to solve, here's a thing to solve, then they have a goal in mind and they can work towards that goal, whatever it happens to be. And it's like, oh, I throw a complication, the bridge is out, so here's a way we can possibly, and here's some possibilities you could use to solve it. And that keeps them forward thinking and focused on that. One problem that can happen with adults even, but it's really hard with kids, is like, do whatever you want, and then all of a sudden they go everywhere.
Right. And it's something that we can apply in any game, really, is when we write out our encounters, have a problem statement. What are we trying to solve? So
it feels like a really good way to have there be a direction without it feeling like it's on the rails.
Right.
Feeling like the character is getting her steamrolled. It never felt that way at all.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Well, thank you everybody for speaking up and helping us with that teachable moment from the game. Mike, thank you for running another awesome session this week. I can't wait to have you on again.
Quite a bit different from Fall of Magic, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. So Fall of Magic was just so much feels and emotions. I had to go and watch something silly afterwards. All right. But thank you so much, folks. Make sure to tune in next week. We got some new shows on the horizon that we're working on. And keep an eye out for those. This is Geek Therapeutics, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks, Matt. Take care, everybody.